Hi, this is Eon, and welcome to another conclusion video of Civilization 6 daily puzzles. So this time we tried to find some place for Matthias to settle, and I had to restart quite a few times with Matthias, because settling with Matthias is very easy. You do want to maximize amount of tiles where you can get some really good districts, because when you build with Matthias has this really unique ability here. When he place districts, every buildings and district constructed across the river have 50% production, meaning it goes double as fast. And that is a really good thing you have to think when you're settling with Matthias. So finding a good spot for him is not impossible, because it's a really good spot located here on blue tile here. But it takes 2 turns. Can't settle before on turn 3. Settling here, that is a really downgrade. It has really good working tiles, so you can get a really good city up and running very fast. It takes 3 turns to walk there, and that is not something we can accept when we play a place where we even have a really good spot here in the beginning here. So you can see the start here. We have a really solid position here with this luxury resources here. We also have access to the wonder here, and we also have a really good campus right next to him, which will be adjacent to the main city. And we also have really good tiles. We also have food if you want to have food. So I don't see any downside of working here beside not getting the main benefit of Matthias. But there is one more thing we have to think in mind, because where do we want to settle our second city? So if you settle this spot here, we don't have any more rooms on this tile here. We can't settle on this tile anymore. So the only logical place to settle is on this coastline here, which is not ideal. I mean, you have to walk so many turns to go over here. We have to go so many turns to go over to this side and removing the sheep, because if you want second city in this proximity here, that is one of the reasons I think you should just start as quickly as you can. Going for this area, you have good tiles you can work on right away. You have a really good production here, and the next time it will grow, you can get the cattle here to get more food, so you can grow the city even more. And even if how good this tile is and how good you can get all this district, I would definitely just go for this quick start here and make the next city on the sheep here, where you can have 2 places here with adjacent or the river bonus. So I think that's the only solution in this puzzle. I mean, it sucks because you don't get the river bonus from your capital, but you get a fate from the early game, meaning you can get a really good pantheon very early. It's possible you can even get the first settlers. You can get settled your second city right away over here. Or you can go something else, something crazy good, because there are some really good tiles there, I guess. We have really nice appeal. So we can have the Earth Goddess for if the other ones is taken. So there's so many choices you can go here. And having a city in this area is very good. There was a bit conflicted. A lot of people wanted to go for this blue tile here. And I can see there are so many benefits there, but you also ruin the city here. You also ruin, you have to wait 2 turns to get it, meaning you can't get an early pantheon even way. I mean, you have to wait until Code of Law is researched before you get any more fate. Yeah, I think I would just go for this place here. There is no reason to move. The next one we had was Japan with Hojo. So Japan have a really good ability in that I think is the best. This is the best civ to start with when you're new to Civilization, because it has a really good and easy, understandable adjacency bonus. All districts receive an additional standard adjacency bonus from being adjacent to another district, meaning we want to create as many cramped cities as we want with Japan. So here we have to maximize really where we want to place our next city, and we also want to maximize where we want to place our districts. So the first thing I ever want to do when I'm starting playing Japan is placing where we want districts. So if you place this area here, there was a suggestion here that you settle here instead. You lose out on the coastline, but you have a really good holy site you can get, or you can get a campus, depending on what you want to go. This will be a +5. You get 2 bonus from a center. You also get +1, +1, +1. And there is also a possibility to later create an additional district. But still, yeah, that's good and all. But really, we can do better than this. This is a good tile. I didn't even think about it, but it's a really good tile. It doesn't have good working tiles there in the area. You have to wait until it grows, so not really ideal. But there are other things we can do. If we settle in place, this is the campus area. You can have the aqueduct and you can have an industrial zone here maybe one day, and that can be an adjacency bonus you can get from the campus if you want, but that is a long-term prospect. So it doesn't really work because of all these mountain tiles here ruining everything. But if you take this area here, which is a really good spot, you can have a really nice harbor here, considering if there's no resources here, we don't know if there's resources. Commercial hub here, making a really good adjacency with the harbor. And we can have, here we can place the campus, and we can place the holy site. And you see already we're making really good spots there, a really good area where you can make everything you want, basically. There could also be a holy site down here, we don't know. There's a lot of more, you can make a lot of districts together here. And there's also a possibility to make, if you settle here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 up here, which is a district or placement you can already see. There could be better places over here if you want, we don't know, but trying to cramp as many districts as possible. And you see this river going over here. I think it stops in this tile here, meaning if you see on this settlers plot here, we can't see it quite yet, but it looks like this is the last. This might be the last tile. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not possible here. 1, 2, 3. It's, yeah, 1, 2, 3. It might be possible to settle a city here if it's green, but you can still take this area here. They can't with this. So you have to just think as much as possible just to get as many city up as possible with Japan, and taking as far as on the coastline as you can will result in maximum amount of position here over where you can place cities, depending where you start. That really matters. The other thing that's really good, you start on a copper right away. Not really good tiles to work on, but you can start with this tile and you can also grow into food, meaning you can grow the city pretty fast. And there are some hills there you can make some mines, I guess. But there's not really good production in this area, so the city start is not ideal. I would preferably have a better spot than this, but I don't think there's any reason to move out of this area. One of these two tiles are good, but I would never move up to this location for the first time. And there is one thing you also have to keep in mind when you're playing on archipelago games. You really want an harbor, you want a coastal city as a capital. Because playing on archipelagos, you have to explore really early. There is not a lot of space you can walk on this island. It's probably not big, and meaning the scout tactics where you build a scout right away, that's not really ideal to go for. Maybe you go for one warrior to defend from barbarians, but the first thing you want to go for is galleys. Unless you intentionally want a dark age, you should try to explore as early as possible, because you need exploration to get points through the area, and you get that by just exploring and trying to locate wonders, a good placement and everything. So if you settle in this area or you settle up here, you don't get a harbor, or you don't get a boat, a galley out to explore, meaning you don't see the rest of the world right away. As conclusion, I think the best one is going for the copper. Settling a place is still a possibility. You can still get really good adjacency right away if you do this like this, and you instead harvest the copper and you build a commercial hub here. That might be an ideal as well. And you get the same district adjacency right away. It's easier to get holy sites and campuses. So, and if you want to build something else there, if you want to build industrial zone, maybe if you want to build like this, and you take do like this, you can go for holy site maybe here, or you can. Yeah, maybe the next city you build can have the campus in here, and you can have two campuses right away next to each other. Or you can have multiple cities. You can have campus here from different cities as well. There's a lot of possibilities. This was a really difficult one. I'm still not sure if these two tiles are the best, but I think I would personally go for this copper tile. You either go here or here, I guess. Now we have the Inca. And the Inca have really good ability, which is building. You have every mountain tiles have working tiles. I mean, you can get bonus from them. If you see here on this bonus here, you can see citizen may work mountain tiles. Mountain tiles provide 2+ production and additional 1+ production when the game reaches industrial area. 1+ food to mountain tiles for every adjacent terrace farm. So they have a unique ability to build terrace farm with the builder. And terrace farms are really good, really good. You have to build them adjacent to mountains, and then you get the really good bonuses. This was a trap I made. I tried to settle, I restarted a lot of times just to get this this one, because I feel it's really easy to settle with the Incas. You do want to maximize mountains and everything, but there's also something everyone wants. They also want to settle on the luxury resources, and this is a really good tile to start on. Every civilization, this would be a really good spot, because you can already see here on the settler spot here. This is a volcano, so there's a volcano in this area. Since we are playing on Primordial, we have a lot of volcanoes that will erupt, meaning there will be a lot of bonuses on every tile here. That's really good for us. One suggestion I really like, going over to this area here just to build a campus, a holy site there. But there is one problem with this, because one of the best thing with Inca, they are godlike with preserves, and preserves can't build adjacent to district center. They have to be one tile away, and the best place in this spot here to build a preserve here, this one is off. You can't move here. There is no possibility, because this has to be a preserve 100%. You can just start in place. You have a really good spot here with it there, and you also have really good tiles with food. So you're gonna grow very quickly while settling here. And this one you have no rooms for any mountain tiles. Before this one, you don't know where the volcano are and how many mountain tiles there are down here. And even if there's really good production in both of these two, and there will be eruptions here, I still think this is the best spot just to settle. You could, if you want, settle one tile up here, because you can get the production from this tile and this tile later. But it's ring 2, and that you can also settle down here later if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you can have a district here as well, because it's a really good placement for a city. So settling that up here will be a really good and massive choice to go up here. But settling in spot is great as well. Yeah, you lose out on this spot, but you can still go for this tile, even if it's adjacent to the volcano. And I would settle this spot first, and then I will settle this spot if not. And this one the third. I honestly think the best spot you can just start is right away in this spot. You could go up here. You get a worst early game, but there is a possibility if you're taking long-term perspective into account. So going for the long-term game, this one is the best spot. This one is the second best spot. But in short-term and mid-length of the game, this one is a really good spot, and you can also settle a city here. Although there is always possibilities in this map type to have really good starting spots. So yeah, you can take it or leave it. One of the two tiles are good. I will settle in place. That was my 3 pop quizzes this week. I'm sorry I was a bit late, but that's okay. I don't think that's too many people that expect and wait for this. The reason I was late because I was celebrating my birthday, so I didn't have time to make the video. So I will be back later today with another quiz, and we're gonna continue on, and hope you have a great day, and take care. Bye bye.